chair for the tour guide. Well, we start our tour here opposite Central Railway Station. The station was built at the end of the 19th century by the architect Peter Kuipers. It was built on an artificial island in the harbour. So the station is closing off, in fact, the mouth of the river Amstel, and it's blocking our view on the open water. Just here around the corner at your right you will see a little tower. It was part of the city wall in the 14th century. It's called the Tower of Tears because weeping women said goodbye to this tower when their husbands went to sea. And a very well-known person, Henry Hudson, he's so here to left the replica of the 17th century VOC sailing ship and the Maritime Museum. Well, here we're passing the former shipping area of Amsterdam. In the past, everybody who lived here worked, had a job that had to do with ships and with sailing, or lots of ship wharves. And here at your right in a moment there's still one of these ship wharves left. It's called Het Kolmhout. It's from the 18th century, and we started working with steam engines after the Industrial Revolution. Here to the left is one of the 5 windmills we still have in Amsterdam. This is a corn mill, very high. They needed storage to store the corn, and of course these windmills had to be higher than the surrounding buildings. In general they use a thatch roof, these windmills, because it doesn't weigh much on this construction and it's good isolation. At the right side of this windmill is a small brewery, and they make delicious, typical kinds of beer, very different from the Heineken beer. And you can taste this beer. They're open every day, but only in daytime. They close early at 6 or 7. In fact, every city district has its own day market. It's called the Dapper Markt. It's named after the street, the Dapper Street. These markets are open every day except on the Sundays, and you can buy almost everything there. Very cheap clothes, cheese, vegetables, fruit. Here in a moment at our left is the Tropical Museum, or the Royal Institute for the Tropics. And they have a lot of objects from our former colonies, which were Indonesia and Suriname. There used to be a training institute as well for people who went to work in development countries. Gate to defend the city, where you had to come in and present yourself. This was more to pay taxes. You came into the city with goods. It's from the 18th century. Bought land outside the old city centre, but when they bought this part, population stopped growing, and for a very long time this was a very green area with lots of parks and restaurants where people went to have a nice afternoon. So now there's still the zoo here, artists at your right. Dinosaurs. The zoo is one of the oldest zoos of the continent, 1838. At that time a zoo had really a more educational function. And in a moment at our right we see some flamingos if they are there this afternoon. beautiful park as well, beautifully located. Also have a planetarium you see here at your right. At our left in this yellow building is the Resistance Museum. You find all information on the Second World War. Lives here in Amsterdam, in a town with so many canals and waterways. You have to wait for an open bridge. It's always a very good excuse for children when they arrive too late at school.
Komt er nog een aan?
Ja, maar de kleintje staat niet open. Daarachter wel, maar...
Oh ja.
Oh, daar gaan ze wel open.
That's good. This one is going to close, but if you look at your right, I don't know if you can see it. He's operating these bridges. He has a bicycle.
Ja, dat is wel een.
Nou, dat gaat hij. Dat is heel prima. Misschien kan hij dat op afstand doen.
Well, I pass in here a street which is called the Anne Frank Street. It's the young Jewish girl who lived here in Amsterdam and went into hiding with her family. You all know the Anne Frank house on the Prinsen Canal. Anne Frank, the family of Anne Frank, they didn't live here in this part of the city. They lived in the southern part. We are passing here, or we will pass in a moment, the former Jewish quarter of the Spanish Inquisition. They had to change to Protestant, to a Catholic religion. And they wanted to keep their own religion. They had to go. Well, they came to live here in Amsterdam because here they found freedom of religion. And after the Portuguese Jews, also refugees came from East Europe. And they all lived together in this area of Amsterdam. In a little moment we pass the square. On the square you will see two synagogues, the Portuguese synagogue and the German synagogue. They each had their own synagogue in the 17th century. On the square you find more religions. Here in front of us, that's a Catholic church. The Moses in Aaron church, named over two houses. Also where you can find the Rembrandt house, the museum where he lived, worked until he went bankrupt and had to sell his house. So here to the right, this is the Moses and Aaron Catholic Church, the flea market here at the right, and then at your left is the Portuguese synagogue, first of all, which is still in use as a synagogue. And it's this building, was built in the 17th century, 1648. It's a copy of the Temple of Solomon in Israel. And this building still doesn't have any electricity. It's lighted and heated by 1,000 candles. And the little houses around it house the library and offices. Well, here to the right is a complex of 4 synagogues. It's the German synagogue, and they've joined this together. And it's now the Jewish Historical Museum. Well, here to the right in the moment you see the back of the Hermitage Museum. It's a branch of the Hermitage in St. Petersburg. Very nice garden. The only metro line we have up until now. It's going from the city center to the southeast of Amsterdam. It's only a very small part is under the ground. And for this metro line, and also because the municipality planned a highway here to the central station, which unfortunately they could not do because there were so many protests against it. A lot of the original houses had disappeared, and therefore mainly offices here. At the moment we go to cross the river Amstel. That's the only natural waterway we have in town because all the canals, we have about 80 kilometers of canals, are all man-made water. Here we have the River Amstel in a moment. At your right is the Amstel Hotel, one of the most expensive hotels of the city, a 5-star, built at the end of the 19th century. And famous people like Queen Elizabeth of England, the Rolling Stones as well, I slept here. If they're here in Amsterdam, they stay in this hotel. The most expensive suite costs 3,500 euros a night, but you can also find a little room for about 530 euros per night. We drive alongside this River Amstel, lots of houseboats here as well. In total there are over 2,000 houseboats in the center of Amsterdam. It started in fact just after the Second World War, when there was an enormous housing shortage, a dam or a dike in the mouth of the River Amstel. And the ground around this River Amstel is very marshy and very soft, and therefore the first houses are wooden houses, because wood was very cheap material. They don't weigh that much on the marshy ground. But there were a lot of city fires in the Middle Ages, and therefore people to start constructing houses from bricks. Bricks really heavy on the soft ground. That's the reason all the old houses in the city center are built on wooden piles. It's go 12 meters into the ground, because there's the first layer of sand. Even the Royal Palace, the huge building on the Dam Square, is built on wooden piles. They used 13,600 of them to support this enormous building. If you would turn the palace upside down, there would be a whole forest of Scandinavian trees, because most of the wood was imported from Scandinavia. Well, nowadays to construct high buildings like the Rim.
Ik vind dat zo schattig hier.
Ja.
Die kleine jongetjes op zo'n
Loopfiets.
loopfiets. Ja.
Here you can see a style of architecture which is called the Amsterdam School style. And what is nice about this style of architecture is they use bricks. It's like an ode to, they like bricks a lot. Look at these nice forms here at the right, especially little towers, round forms, nice decorative windows. Sills, and look at the doors as well.